If not be business, some churches they do. When the overseer of a church leaves the word, like buy, you don't buy go, the wife will not take over. The son will take over. What it concern the wife to taking over or the wife taking over? Being a pastor's wife does not make me a pastor. Being a pastor's wife does not make me a pastor. Being a pastor's son does not make me a pastor. The pastor said God called him. When God called him, he took the call, right? And started preaching the word. Then when he eventually leaves this word, the wife will not take over. Because I'm a pastor's wife, I will not take over. I am a pastor's wife, I am not a pastor. So if my husband buy tomorrow, I'm not supposed to take over. But nowadays, some churches will say, if their husband buy, because of say them a pastor wife, they will not take over. What happened to those pastors when the overseer of the church ordained? What happened to them? Can't they take over and make accounts of offerings and tithes? Must it be that his wife will take over, or must it be the son that will take over? Must it be like that? If not be business, where some churches they do, but it concern pastor wife or pastor son to take over church when the man don't go, when the man don't buy, what it concern? Some people say, is a pastor's wife, she's supposed to take over. My dear, I am a pastor's wife, I am not a pastor. There are two different things, two very, very big difference. I'm a pastor's wife, I am not a pastor. God called the pastor, God did not call me. Some pastors say God called them, fine. Right? God called them to preach the word, and they left the word. They don't buy go. Must I take over from where my husband stopped? This is not a buying and selling company. When we say my husband go buy, then I'll not take over from where my husband stops. No. Right? So is it right for a woman, for a wife to take over from where her husband stopped, or the son to take over from where the father stopped? Is it right? Because God called the father to preach the word. Yeah? God did not call me. God did not call the son. So why would I take over church if my husband is no more? We have pastors after my husband. Right? We have pastors after the overseer. When the overseer was alive, he travels. Sometimes he travels. When he travels, the pastors that are after him takes over the congregation, takes over the church and preach the word to the people. So what happened? Now the way the man don't buy, what happened to those pastors? Can they take over and preach and continue from when the man stopped? Must it be the wife that will take over from where the husband stopped? Must it be the son that will take over from where the father stopped? If no be business, what these people they do? Because I've said and thought about this thing. I've said and thought about it. We have plenty of people doing this. When the overseer of a church buys, you go say the wife will take over church, the son will take over church. It is family business as long as this is concerned. It is family business. So it's hard to stop this. If an overseer of a church buy and they have pastors after him, the pastor should continue from where he stopped. The wife must not take over because it's not a business. God no call me. It's not my calling to preach to the word. It's not my calling to preach. It's not my calling. I'm a pastor's wife does not mean I'm a pastor. This is the bitter truth. So let the pastors after the man will get church continue the word. Except maybe my husband is a pastor. Okay, I say okay. I want to be a pastor too. I go to pastor. How do they call it? Pastoral school. How do they call it? Pastor school. Yeah, and I learn the Bible. You know, I learn how to preach. That's fine, no problem. I can take over. And the son does the same thing. No problems. I can take over. But as long as I don't go pastoral school, right? I don't have any rights to take over the church when my husband is no more. I don't have any rights. If I went to a pastoral school and something happens to my husband, no problems. I can take over as a pastor. I can't take over as the pastor's wife because I am not a pastor. I'm just a pastor's wife. Does not mean I'm a pastor.